Good evening. Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. See a couple messages here in the chat already. We'll make sure we get you in, John. But welcome. My name is Jason, aka Woo Woo J Train. This is Off the Rails, and we're gonna do a dinger draft tonight. So we have 3 weeks until opening day, and that makes me very, very happy. We've got some spring training stuff going on. We're overreacting to spring training stuff as per usual. I almost jumped off the bridge when Carlos Rodon had a terrible start yesterday. Was it terrible? It was pretty bad. Hopefully his velocity comes back. Prayers, thoughts and prayers. But I think I've landed on not wanting to be like overcommitted to any pitchers. I'm just going to spread out, I think, and maybe get to like 35, 40% on maybe a couple of hitters. But I think pitching, I'm gonna spread out. I don't know. It's it seems so random, injuries and I don't know. I just feel like I'm taking the coward way out by not being too committal on pitching, but we'll see what happens. I am gonna go ahead and pull up a dinger. I just checked. There's one that's pretty open, so we should all be able to get in there together. So let me get my screen share good to go. I think last stream I had the wrong layout selected the entire time, which was just rookie mistake. All right. When I say go, you enter, and then I will enter 5 seconds after that. Okay. So 3, 2, 1, go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes. All right. And we're full. This thing needed 8 people earlier. What happened? All right. Okay. I see some friends are in here. Shimmy, I feel like I'm going to have to look back on my streams, but I feel like you've gotten the 101 in like 3 or 4 of my streams. So I don't know if you're here tonight. But if you are, could you stop doing that and give it to me? Thank you. We've got our guy Bjorn Masterson right behind me. Welcome in. And also, John, I don't know what your Underdog username is, but I really hope you were able to get into this draft. So let me know if you did. But our guy Bjorn showing up. Thank you for coming, man. Appreciate you as always. And we got the 7 pick. We've got our friend Dark Sheep in the 9 hole. And yeah, we got this thing filled up real quick. I swear to you, right before I streamed, I looked and I needed like 8 or 9 people. So hopefully, if you guys wanted to get in, hopefully you did. If you didn't, yeah, it did kind of snap fill, didn't it? If you didn't, I don't know. Maybe next time. It's always such a crapshoot. Sheep, I'll let you know. You're doing dishes. I will give you a verbal cue that you're up. Friends helping friends. But thank you for coming in, Sheep. I really appreciate you stopping by, man. Thank you. All right. So Acuna, Soto, Judge, Otani, normal start. Nothing crazy. I'm gonna go Tatis because I can't stop drafting Fernando Tatis. I really like the 7-8 hole feels really, really nice this year. It's like you can't lose almost. At least with like the guys I'm targeting. So I really like Tatis. I've been getting quite a bit of Jordan. I don't have a single share of Julio Rodriguez. And that doesn't feel smart. But I'm so deep into these drafts that I kind of feel like I just have to make a stand maybe and just full fade him and hope I don't get completely nuked. Sheep, you're up. 10 seconds. Although by the time you hear that, it's going to be... I'll do better, Sheep. I promise. You're going to auto Jordan anyway, so whatever. You would have picked him. Doesn't matter. So our standard first 10 outfielders go off the board. I really like... I've kind of come to like the 11-12 hole because you can really do some fun stuff from those spots. Guy Robert, thank you for stopping in, Robert. As always, appreciate it. Sheep, I'll do what I want. It's my stream. Okay. Uh, yeah, I like Julio. I mean, you can't not like Julio, but I'm just gravitating towards like if one of the first five with Acuna, Soto, Judge, Otani, that's aren't there. I'm leaning towards Tatis and Jordan almost every time. Sheep, you're up. So yeah, pretty common start here. I love this pairing that Fenster is doing at the end. The Strider Witt. Strider is not a guy that I wanted zero of. So even though I don't like taking pitching early, I have 9 or 10% on Strider actually, which is higher than I thought. I have a Strider team that autoed Lucas Giolito yesterday, and that was just a miserable experience. All right, Bjorn's up. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do Schwarber. I don't love Schwarber, but he doesn't make it back to me too often when I have a Tatis start, I don't think. So I'm just going to take him and load up an outfield to start, and then we'll see what comes. So spring training Nuggets, Wyatt Langford went nuts. So his ADP is rising. Evan Carter went nuts. His ADP is rising. Jordan Walker has been terrible, but he did hit a home run today. His price has stayed pretty much the same. I want to try to get a little bit more. I feel like we forgot that Jordan Walker wasn't he the number one prospect last year or the year before that? Or at least one of the top three. So dude's got talent, and I don't have much of him. Yeah, I'm aware. All right. This is awesome. Cooking dinner, putting kids to sleep, having the turn. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, I'm not as mad at you for getting the 101 now. And Shimmy with an Acuna Ramirez Alonso start. That's fun. That's really fun. Anything weird? Nothing weird. Sheep with the Devers pick a little earlier than normal, but there's probably not that many Jordan Devers teams. So I love that. I love that a lot. Bjorn top 10 stream moment, random shouting to someone during the dishes as they are up. Yeah. Well, this is my 12th stream, so we've got a pretty short list of top moments. I'm on the clock. Let's go with. Oh, there's a lot here. I've been trying to force in more Nolan Jones, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I was very, very out on him when I first started drafting, and then his price went up, and I was like, yeah, I'll pay the extra price. I'm such an idiot. I should have been taking him at like the 40s, mid 40s, but whatever. I don't want to be at zero on him. He may be legit, and I think I'm only at like 5%. So I'm trying to get more Nolan Jones into the old portfolio. So I've got a 3 outfield start. Robert, I am not going to max out. The way that I'm pacing, it'll wind up somewhere in the like 110 to 120 range. I'd like to do a nice round number, but I don't know. We'll see. Like if another bunt opens, which is the 20 max $4, yes, contest. I like that one a lot. So I might max that one and have, maybe 5 less dinger entries. So no, I will not be maxing out, but I'll get pretty close-ish, which I never thought that I would do, but I just kind of made a commitment. What's up, Chip? Thank you for stopping in, man. Love Chip. Always have fun with him in the Discord. I don't see how you couldn't. Usually it's at Brad's expense, but doesn't look like Brad's here this evening. Rip. All right. Oh my God, I'm going to do it. Bjorn also with a 3 outfielder start. Okay, he took Ellie. Good. I was going to do it. I am going to go with Jose Altuve here. Again, another guy I don't have much of that I'm trying to get. I have maintained, going back to the Ellie thing, that I was going to be completely out on him. I'm still probably only going to check in at maybe 1%, but I did draft him for the first time today. So be proud. Robert would love for another contest to open. Yeah, I'm guessing, just kind of looking at the fill rate of the dinger, I'm guessing that they don't probably want too many options because they need this contest to fill. So if we're going to get like another bunt contest, I would guess we probably won't see it until close to the end. I mean, I don't know anything. I don't have any insight into what Numi and Hope are doing, obviously, but that would seem to make sense. And Chip, yeah, gotta have fun while you're clicking buttons. I've been trying to figure out since I started doing this, like, what do I want this to be? And I see Billy Jones and I watch the Stacking Dingers guys, and Dark Sheep's got a really well-rounded thing. Those guys are really, really good at diving into the data. And obviously I use projections and, draft with that in mind. But I think this channel's just going to kind of be for the vibes, guys. Just come in, hang out, have fun drafting, get a little silly, make fun of me. I'll make fun of you. I don't care. I just want this to be a fun spot for y'all to come in and do a draft every once in a while. So hopefully I've done a good job of that so far, but that's kind of, I think, going to be my thing. So Bjorn's a little under the field on the Ellie. He wants some, though. I literally had 0 until today. I don't hate fun, though. So I decided to go ahead and take him. I was really hoping Bregman would come back to me so I could pair him and Altuve together. I have Tatis, so let's bounce back with Manny Machado. He had an off year last year. Had trouble staying healthy. But I like him as a bounce back candidate, and I like stacking him with Tatis. So that feels pretty good. Sheep is up with the 022 build. Santander, yes, that guy is very, very spiky. I wasn't drafting Santander all that much earlier, and then started kind of getting to him. What I've found myself doing is kind of picking guys that I was out on and just trying to get a little bit of them, just to be diverse. And I'm kind of following what I thought I would do for this contest versus the bullpen. I'm not overly condensed on anybody in the bullpen, but I do have much higher percentages on some guys than I do in the dinger. I don't want to be overexposed to any one person. I definitely see the value in taking a 50% bet on a guy and having it work out. I don't know. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. If I was going to do that, I almost feel like it might be better to have it be a dude at the very end of the draft that's not necessarily getting picked every time. Because, if a dude's getting drafted in every single draft and he goes crazy, even if you have 50% of him, he's going to be on a lot of other teams that are advancing as well. So it doesn't really make you unique necessarily. But if you have 50% Francisco Alvarez, which not financial advice, and he goes crazy, that not everybody's drafting Francisco Alvarez. So there's a little more edge there, I guess. I don't know. That's just kind of how I've been thinking about it lately. All right. On the clock, I'm going to buy into this Screwball thing. He's looked awesome in spring training so far. And I feel really good about where the bats are. I mean, to recap the team, I've got a 1-2-3 build so far, and we're through 6 picks. So Screwball, I just picked him. And then the infield is Altuve and Machado. And then the outfield is Tatis, Schwarber, and Nolan Jones. So I feel good about where the bats are. And I've been leaning towards, we saw Billy and baseball do a lot of analysis on the pitching from last year. And if you haven't seen that stream, make sure to do so on Billy Jones's channel. You can also follow him on X at SportsVizBJ, and then baseball's at B3ISBOL. But they did a great dive on pitching and how that worked last year. And I guess the TLDR version is zero pitcher looked like it worked really well last year. I know that there's a lot of people that are really committing to the zero pitcher bit. I guess it kind of depends on what your definition of zero pitcher is, but what I've preferred to do lately is to get two really solid aces and like the 6th to 9th round range, and then try to load up on some more bats and then finish off pitching in like the 14th plus round. That's kind of what I've been doing lately. So to kind of go along with that, I'm going to pair Skubal and Grayson Rodriguez together. And I think for this draft, I'm going to assume that I get that right. And then I'm going to target some bats here to try to pump up this offense and then maybe finish off pitching a little bit later. But we'll see how the draft goes. I don't want to overcommit to it. I'm not going to like commit to a strategy in the 8th round if I've got some pretty crazy values. I'm going to take him. Ricky's Skubal for life. You better leave him in our league, my friend. Leave him to me. He sucks. He's terrible. You shouldn't draft him. I will. I'll take that bullet for you. But yeah, the only concern on Skubal so far is like, will he throw more than 120 innings? Where do we think Snell ends up? Dude, I don't know. I mean, if Rodon is like, if he's dust, do the Yankees just take like a short-term flyer on Snell? I mean, he's been linked to the Yankees already anyway, but if Rodon is super mega dusty, one, I'm poor. Two, they need a starter. So, we'll see what they do there, but I don't know that Snell's going to get a long-term deal. If he hasn't gotten one now, I don't really know that it's going to happen. My apologies, guys, for not having the board up. Sorry. I've been better at that. Bjorn did one of my favorite things. Christian Walker paired with Ketel Marte. That is such a beautiful pairing. And again, just getting exposure to some guys I don't really have. Let's take Cody Bellinger here. I'm not really a huge Bellinger guy, but I do like him in Chicago. And that offense is pretty fun to stack, actually. I didn't get him in this draft, but Seiya Suzuki's been one of my favorite guys all year. He was scorching to finish the year last year. Christopher Morel's price has gotten a little crazy to me, so I'm kind of backing off of him a little bit because now Morel is going before Eloy Jimenez, which I don't know how many more years I'm going to let Eloy kick me in the junk, but I think I might try it for one more year. And then if it doesn't work out, then we launch into the sun. So Shimmy Coco Pop here. Snell needs to sign sooner and miss a few starts. Could still crush in playoffs, but still a hit to value. Yeah, I agree. And Snell's price really decreased to the point where it's kind of hard for me to not click on him. I mean, he's amongst like, where did he go in this draft? So yeah, he's amongst Grayson, Reagans, Fried, Cease, Peralta. Like, this is a great range for pitching. But I mean, if Snell has another year like he did last year, the 70s is a ridiculous price for him. So we'll see how it all shakes out. But I'm concerned about the lack of being signed. Let's go ahead and keep stacking San Diego and go with Xander Bogaerts. That might be the first time I've clicked on his name this year. We're making history, guys. We're growing. We're evolving. But yeah, I want to try to make this team a little different than my other builds with Tatis. So let's recap the team real quick. Through 9 rounds, a 2-4-3 build. So Skubal and Rodriguez are the 2 pitchers. The infield is Altuve, Machado, Bellinger, and Bogaerts. And then the outfield is Tatis, Schwarber, and Nolan Jones. My general philosophy is if I start, and this has evolved and changed, and it'll probably change again before the dinger closes. But right now, if I use my first 3 picks in outfield, I'm just shutting it down until we get to the teens, probably. Because for this build to work, I need those 3 guys to be worth the picks, especially Nolan Jones with his inflated price right now. We'll do like a mid-draft recap after I make this pick here. One of my favorite picks on the entire board, Hunter Green, goes at 110. He's so perfect for this format because it doesn't really matter if he's, garbage for one start. I want those spike weeks where he just goes bananas. Maybe it's only 12 starts, but if you get one of those 12 in the right spot, he can win you a lot of money. Also, he's still super young, so he's got room to grow for sure. Okay. I know that I just said I like to shut down outfield. Oh, you know what? If I'm gonna flag plant on one guy this year, it's gonna be Rhys Hoskins. His price has definitely gotten more efficient, shall we say? But I mean, I truly believe that this is a dude who can put up 1,400 underdog points. So Noah, what's up, man? Thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate you. Just joined already. Unsurprised, no Blue Jays made the team. It's they're just, so yeah. And that's my analysis. One guy, okay, so I know that like I've been saying the entire draft season, like, I'm never gonna draft Ellie, and then I did it today. I can promise you, there is no scenario that exists where I draft George Springer at his current price. None. Absolute 0. So that is the woo-woo J-Train guarantee. I will not draft George Springer. So if you're in a draft with me and you like George Springer and I'm like around you, you don't have to worry about me sniping him from you. Okay? Little tip. Is that collusion? I don't think that's collusion. I love George Springer. I can't wait to draft him. I was lying. Okay. I fixed it. Let's see. What do I want to do here? I'm going to go with the youngster and Tanner Bybee. It's Bybee, right? I think it's Bybee. I keep forgetting to like look at how you pronounce his name. I've been getting to him quite a bit this year, and the dude's good. I want to see his strikeout stuff tick up a little bit, because right now, like if you took last season and then just gave him a few more innings, he's basically Sonny Gray. So why am I paying? Well, I guess at the same price, but I don't know. I want to see him make some strides with his strikeout stuff, but he's just a really, really good young pitcher. Bjorn, any Fed shares? I feel like you want me to end the stream and throw my computer. No, there are no Fed shares. I do not believe in it, and I refuse. No, by the way, the only Blue Jays player I have over 10% is Alek Manoah, and now he might be injured. Well, the problem with Alek Manoah is that he appears to be a dumpster fire and not good at pitching. There was a brief period of time where I was taking him a lot at the end of drafts. Like, what if he bounces back? And then he hit 3 guys in one spring training game. So I'm out. He needs a change of scenery. I think it was watched so many streams. I believe it was the Bad Bros who were talking about him, and they said he just needs a change of scenery, and I fully agree because he is oh he's a different level. There's like tiers of badness, and he's like tier 1 right now. Just and it's amazing given how good he was in 2022. Yes. Okay. Bjorn's got the pick. And we're waiting very patiently. I feel like you're stringing me along. I don't really care for it. You. I don't like that. I'm not happy right now. I'm very upset. I don't know what to do. I'm panicking. Oh my god. I'm going to freak out. Let's do the Milwaukee stack with Adames and Hoskins. I'm not really an Adames guy, but the projections really, really like him. And he stacks with Hoskins. So I kind of can't believe I have 6 infielders already and we're in the 12th round. That's quite a bit for me. Like I said, I want to build different teams. This is a different team. Alan, that change of scenery may be the KBO. Yeah, he could go to the KBO and win the MVP and then come back over and get signed by a joke of a franchise for like $32 million. That sound good? Does that sound familiar at all? I don't know. Maybe he changes a bunch of stuff and that's why he dominates and then he comes over here. I don't know. I don't know if that's been done before. Noah, who else is that green tier pitcher that you like, mid-round guys? You'd think I'd have this memorized by now, but I don't. Let's see, where did Green go? He went here, 110. Sales price is like genuinely funny to me. I do not like Shane Bieber, although his velocity is ticking up a little bit at Driveline. Did he go to Driveline? I think it was. So that's good. I don't mind Chris Bassett. He's a very boring option, but reliable. And then I'm still in on Joe Musgrove, even though he's been atrocious so far in spring. And then I love Hunter Brown, Tanner Bybee. I've got a decent amount of Imanaga now. Yuri Perez is in that range. I really like him. I don't care about the innings limit. So there's a few guys, but I would say out of that group, Hunter Green is my favorite one. But that's a decent tier of pitching. Oh, here's another guy you'll never see me draft, Jordan Montgomery. I don't understand it. I don't get it at all. I'll just draft Grant Williams like 6 rounds later. Or Grant Williams. Is he a basketball player? Gavin Williams. Let's see. There's really no pitching here that I like. I am going to keep lighting money on fire and draft Tyler O'Neill. He's dipping a little bit because he has some sort of calf thing. Like if he ever lifted weights, he'd probably be fine. Dude is jacked. He might be too muscular. Literally, he just might have too much muscle. I don't know. Is that a thing? Ricky, tell me if that's a thing. Bjorn needed Ward, so I was mad at him because he sniped Taylor Ward for me. I'm still upset about that. But he did it to dilute his Sawinski shares, and I respect that because like Sawinski kind of scares me from a platoon standpoint, but my lord, that guy mashes. And then Noah tried to tend to ground one of, I cannot read, guys, I'm sorry, tend to grab one of Brown or Javier. I am about even with Brown and Javier. I think I'll look at it. I have 0 Javier in the bullpen, and I have like 20% of him in this contest, and I don't really know where that delusion came from. But I look at his 2022, and I'm like, if that comes back, his strikeout potential, if that comes back this year, like I can't get to the end of this contest and get to the end of the season and look back and Christian Javier just nukes, and I have none because I didn't draft him out of spite because I had a ton of him last year and he was ass. So I was not drafting him out of spite, and then I was drafting him because I didn't want to not draft him out of spite. And there's no like mathematical reason why. I'm just like, maybe he figures out how to not be bad. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I am. I know Charlie Morton is old, and like, but he's still pretty good, right? Like, is like Charlie Morton had a pretty good year last year. 183 Ks and 163 innings pitched, 66 earned runs. So what is that? A 3.6 ERA, something like that. That's not bad. He's gonna have. He should be durable. He's gonna have a ton of opportunities for wins because it's the Braves, and it's not like a young guy they're gonna monitor for innings, so they'll probably just let him go. So we got a lot of opportunity for wins, a lot of opportunity for quality starts. More than a strikeout per inning. I like that. I feel like you could do worse than Charlie Morton in this range. Like Charlie Morton to Justin Verlander head to head, if Verlander wasn't hurt. I'm probably taking Morton more often than not because I think Father Time has claimed Justin Verlander's soul, unfortunately. It's never fun to watch a first ballot Hall of Famer. Well, maybe he's not first ballot. I don't know. I'm not like the Hall of Fame guy. He will be a Hall of Famer, but I just don't know if it'll be first ballot. Okay. So we got a 4.64 build. Brent Rooker just went. That's a shame. Okay. Yeah. Do we believe in the MJ Melendez bounce back? I don't really have anybody to stack him with. You know what? Screw it. Let's go Mackenzie Gore. Let's take a post hype sleeper and hope he figures it out. Took him a little bit ahead of ADP, but I didn't like any of these outfielders. Justin Turner's a Blue Jay, so I can't draft him, right, Noah? I do think that Turner's just like he's a good hitter, but I am worried about him going to that ballpark. I don't know how much upside is there. I don't know if MJ Melendez is like any good at all. He was probably the right pick there because I mean just the volume of his plate appearances, assuming he doesn't get platooned for some reason. The volume of his plate appearances make him very viable in this range. So I probably should have just pulled the trigger on him. And then JD Martinez is still not signed, and he's not like a guy who I don't care where he signs. I want to see where he goes first. So that was a thought process there on the fly. I was gonna pull up the board. I still will. Oh, Fanster, you ruined my bit, man. Someone tagged me in the Discord about Brian Wu and like what a generational brand, like hitch my wagon to a guy brand moment, right? Brian Wu for my stupid Woo J train. Like, come on, it's right there. But no, the pretty much all draft season have been like, no, I'll just go with old and bad Lance Lynn. Not in the bullpen, but in this contest, I have more Lance Lynn than I want to admit. Melendez fell to me, so I'm gonna go ahead and take him. I don't mind that little discount. 20 past ADP. Okay. Sure. Let's do a recap real quick. 16 rounds are done. 5-6-5 build. The pitchers are Scooball, Grayson Rodriguez, Tanner Bybee, Chuckles Morton, Mackenzie Gore. Infield is Altuve, Machado, Bellinger, Bogarts, Reese Hoskins, and Willie Adames. I really like that infield. That's pretty nice. And then outfield is Tatis, Schwarber, Jones, O'Neill, and Melendez. So, the 60 games that Tyler O'Neill plays, hopefully they're at the right time, and that makes it worth it. Noah chiming in. Yes. Kate Upton. Yeah. Yep. Agreed. That is a correct take. Yeah. There are a few things that are like not debatable in life, and that statement to me is one of those things. Just not debatable. So this team is shaping up to be. I think I'm going to do a 7-7-6 build here. I've been trying to do. I feel like 7-7-6 is the right way to go, because last year, in every week except for the first week, your flex score came from your infield. So it would stand to reason that you would want more infielders to capture that. Yeah, man, I was going to take Correa there. I'm not really a Correa guy, but it seemed to work. I'm going to go a little ahead of ADP. This is another guy I'm kind of flag planting. Matt Chapman's projected to hit 29 home runs according to the Bat X even in San Francisco. He just hit 5th today, so I would assume he's going to hit 5th or 6th in that lineup. I don't like that park, but he feels too cheap still. And right now, he is my highest owned player. So we've started to see his price creep up. I mean, I just took him in the 17th round. I may have been able to get him in the 18th, but I drafted so much of him in the 20th round. So that feels really, really good. Am I going to hop in another dinger after this? Probably not. But this one's going pretty quickly. So I may do that. Looks like we've got 15 people in here right now checking the stream out. So I might do that. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. Okay. I think I got to shut off infield because I've got 7 now. So let's just filter pitchers and outfielders. Here's another guy I'll never draft, Andrew Benintendi. Yep, not going to happen. Just letting you guys know. Especially at that price. If he was a 20th rounder, I might consider it. But I'm just not a Benintendi guy. Deep. I knew it was coming. The Henry Davis pull. I like it. This is kind of a like funky range. There's a lot of guys I'm just kind of like on. No one I love. Trying to look at the board ahead of me. I'm going to go ahead and chase Taj Bradley up the board. I think it was, I think our guy Dark Sheep was maybe the first or one of the first guys, at least I know of, that was really in on Taj Bradley. And he started to climb. He's no longer a 20th round pick. This dude wasn't he like a big time prospect for them a year or two ago? And last year, like was not great. I drafted a lot of him in the end season contest last year, actually. Didn't go well, but the dude's got a ton of talent. I just wonder, like, are the Rays gonna screw with his innings? I don't know. Appreciate you hopping in for the one, Bjorn. Guys, if you could, hopefully you guys are having a good time hanging out. If you could hit the like button for me, I would be greatly appreciated. If you want to check out more streams in the future, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. Any support, it is greatly appreciated. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, I want this to be just kind of like good vibes, just a chill place, a fun place to come hang out, draft, shoot the stuff, and chat. Noah wants to see Dark Sheep's team, but he's feeling a little sheepish and doesn't want us to show it. You can all leave after that comment. I wouldn't blame you. It's okay. Yeah, one person already left. They're already gone. It's over. Just cancel it. Cancel future streams. JP Sears at 218, huh? Okay. I do want to see what Shimmy did out of the one hole. I always like looking at these teams on the turn. So Shimmy, if you're cool with me recapping your team, I will do that. Still have infield on. Let's see. I think that a late round pitcher stand I'm trying to make is Edward Cabrera. This guy's stuff is really, really good, but he has a very, very hard time throwing strikes. And so far in spring, that has not been as much of an issue. So hopefully that sticks, because if he can get his command right, he could be a thing. I'm scanning. Okay. I was looking at Sheep's team, but I wasn't going to show the whole thing. Junior Caminero, 228. Interesting. He's it definitely seems like I know you're kidding, Sheep. It definitely seems like he's going to start the year in the minors. Noah wants to know what who the caboose is going to be. The woo-woo caboose, the dreaded last pick. I don't know. Is that helpful? You know what? I'm gonna believe in this hype about Jose Siri, like trying to steal 30 bases and like maybe getting to 30 home runs. I'm gonna go ahead and believe in that, take my first share, and we'll see what happens. The outfielders I've been gravitating towards in this range. Earlier I talked about if you're gonna be like 40-50% on a guy, I'm wondering out loud if there's a bigger edge in flag planting a guy like that at the end of the draft, although that's hugely risky. But guys who like don't get drafted all the time, I've been talking about Garrett Mitchell since the beginning. This is a dude we were drafting in the 12th round, I think, last year, 12th to 14th. Frelick is being taught how to play third base. Boots on the ground, Sheep. If you have any thoughts here, I know I've been talking about Garrett Mitchell all draft season. You might think I'm an idiot for doing that, but it just I don't know. Maybe it clicks. We'll see. Chip was encouraging me to take Dylan Cruz. I definitely could have done that. Yeah. John, if Oh, that would have been smart. I should have waited to stack him. Dang. John's smarter than me. I should have saved an infield spot for Cronenworth. Sheep is actually a wolf in sheep's clothing. Yeah, I mean he's deadly in these drafts. Shimmy giving me permission to recap, guys. I will do another draft. So as soon as this one's done, I will hop in another one, and we'll do that. That sound good? And then Chip went on a prospect rant in the Discord. Yeah, I remember seeing that. There's a lot of chatter about the prospects. I tend to lean towards Derek Carty's side of that argument. I do feel like more prospects fail than not, but I feel like in recent years with the game getting younger, we've had some pretty crazy performances from rookies. So I don't know. Still trying to figure out how I feel. I will not have any Jackson Churio because he is way too expensive. Why is this taking forever? Sorry, guys. Hang tight. Drafts completed. It's fetching my draft. Okay, let's do this. Y'all want another draft? Okay. Do we have any idea how many spots there are? I want to hop in one that's full already. If someone could check, I would appreciate that. But if y'all don't want to do that and we just want to wing it, then I can do that too. So I'll wait for answers and let's continue to try to pull up this draft we just did. Did I break Underdog? Six more. That's close. I don't know why this isn't loading, guys. Okay. I was going to check and see if my internet died, but obviously I'm still streaming, so we're good. We'll try to recap the teams in a minute. Six more. I think that's good enough. Let's go ahead and try to fill it, guys. All right. Ready? When I say go, you go. And then I'll enter in a minute after that, okay? Not a minute, 10 seconds. Go. All right, waiting for 3 people. Bjorn, I know you're only going to do one. I don't know if you're still here, but thank you for stopping in, man. Appreciate you. That was a fun draft. I will recap the teams as soon as I can get them to load. Because I was really interested to see how that room went. And we're full. All right, let's see who's in here. Roofing Man. All right. Sheep wants the tournament. I got a 101. I'm so glad I did a second stream, guys. This is amazing. So thank you, Noah, for pushing me to do another draft. We've got Sheep. We've got Roofing Man. We've got a whole lot of badges in here. Chip is in the 9 hole. No Bow Sox is in the 12 hole. This is gonna be a fun one. I've actually had a pretty good run of 101s prior to me hopping on Billy Jones's stream last Thursday, a week ago today. What am I saying? I had, I think 10% of my drafts at that point were 101s, which sweet. So I'm gonna take Acuna and his busted knee. That panic lasted all of 2 days, thankfully. God, that would be so awful. Like having any of these first round guys get hurt would just be so unfortunate. Hopefully Aaron Judge's stupid toe Stop acting a fool. Influencer 101. I wouldn't exactly call myself influencer, guys, but I appreciate the compliment. I don't know. But welcome in, Roofie Man. Glad you're able to make it in this draft. Thank you for stopping in, as always. The influencer Acuna. Look, I'll do whatever it takes to get more Ronald Acuna shares. Talking about the top of this draft, that 2-hole lately feels like it's pretty solidified Juan Soto's right now. I feel like in every draft I've been in lately, it's been Soto at the 2 spot. I've been taking Judge over Soto all year. That's not a knock against Soto. I'm just chasing the upside of Judge. Excuse me. But lately, if I've got the 2-hole, I've been trying to get more Soto just because it feels like the 2-hole is the only way you can get him. At least it's been my experience. So, all right, Sheep gets a Ohtani share with the 6 pick. I like that little mini discount there. We'll see if anybody goes off the board here. We'll see if Chip does his normal Strider Cole start. I don't know, just trying to will it into existence for the laughs. Jordan, it's so boring, Chip. Come on. God, do something fun. Live a little. To quote Soccer Dave. I influenced Dark Sheep into drafting again. I could probably retire after that comment. Sheep was done. He was going to call it a night. He was going to go, smoke a pipe and have a bourbon and go to sleep. I don't know if the pipe thing is true, but here he is. So thank you, Sheep, for hopping in this one too, man. It's always nice to see you. Chip, never pitcher. He'll live plenty. I know you will. I'm gonna look at this team by the time it's over with, and there's going to be some stuff that has occurred on this team, I'm sure. The Jordan Bryce pairing, God, I love that so much. That is just such a great start. Morty gets the Olsen Riley stack from the 11 hole. Oh yeah, Garrett Cole's like another guy I don't have any of in them dinger and probably won't. I'm not paying that price for him. I'll pay this price for Strider, but not for Garrett Cole. I don't really know why that is. I mean, Strider is just superior in every way, but Garrett Cole's very good. I just don't like his name. Chief's wife would murder him if he started smoking a pipe. I was taking a guess, right? Just a guess, like a casual Saturday evening, nice summer evening up there in the Midwest. Just, out in the back, smoking a pipe. It was a wild guess. And I was wrong. And that's okay. All right. Go away. Let's do with Acuna. I don't have too much Vlad. Oh, man. Okay, I know I want Alonso. That much I know. I'm going to take Alonso here. Do I want to take the boring Randy Arozarena play? I actually don't know what I want to do here, guys. I'm struggling. I think due to the dearth of outfielders, the issues at outfield, I'm going to go ahead and take some Arozarena. And I'm going to try to set up a stack later in the draft. I'm sorry I took the whole clock on those 2 picks, guys. I don't like doing that, but I wasn't paying attention to who was available. I've been working in a little bit more Arozarena. He's projecting well. I almost dipped down and took Seager, but it didn't feel like that was totally necessary. I don't have zero Vlad, but I don't really like um I don't really like the Vlad play there. So um let's see. Devers at 28. Yeah, Sheep, you took him really early in that last draft. It was an interesting start for you. I'd like to recap the teams when we get there. Let me see if I can do that real quick. Nah, we're live in the draft. I'm not going to do that. All right, what do we want to set up here? We've got a 0-1-2 start. Alonso, Acuna, and a Rosarena. The turn 48, 49. Let's try to plot this out so I don't take the whole clock. I have so much Brandon Nimmo, and I think I have him on a lot of Acuna teams. So probably not going to go that route. We'll see what happens here. Oh, wow. Chip took Nolan Jones. I'm so surprised. I didn't think that was going to happen. How much, you don't have to answer this, Chip, but how much Nolan Jones do you have right now? If you don't want to answer, that's fine. $50. Yeah, I thought you were nearing 50% on him. Ellie made it 37. Okay. Yeah, I think I might try a zero pitcher build here. We'll see what happens. That's a pretty popular strategy right now, so it's a little harder to do successfully, I think. Mm. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to figure out what my next move is. I like to try to plot out what I'm going to do when I'm on the turn here to have those back-to-back picks, and I don't want you guys waiting forever on me. I really struggle with the pitching strategy this year because like it would seem that waiting on pitching is the way to go, but I also don't want to get to the end of drafts or the end of the draft season and then be staring at like 5% Pablo Lopez. Like I don't want to miss out on these aces, but it's really hard to click their names when there's so much more projectable raw points around them. I also don't know what to make of this Gosman thing because he apparently isn't feeling shoulder soreness now. And now it looks like he's going to throw off a mound on Monday, or at least by Monday. I think I'm staying away from him. I drafted him on a different platform in the 60s earlier today, so that was fun. Let's do Bregman because he still is too cheap. And then let's dip down and get a little fun. Let's take the guy who's in the thumbnail, Jazz Chisholm. I have drafted Jazz this year way more than I did last year. Primarily, it's last year he was an infielder, and this year he's an outfielder. This dude's talent is crazy. but he can't stay healthy. And I'm just kind of not banking, but just making a bet that he'll actually stay healthy for once. So I hope that that's the case because he is mega, mega talented. And I'd love to see him play a full season. That would be awesome. And that Marlins lineup is really fun too. Bits and pieces of it, not like the whole thing. But Rise, will be on base a lot. Jake Berger is probably going to hit 35 to 40 home runs. Jazz in the middle of that lineup. Tim Anderson now as well is there. They'll be a fun team to watch. They got a really young pitching staff. I don't know if they're going to do anything, but they'll be a fun watch. Let's take a look at Sheep's got a little mini Atlanta stat going. I like that. Felt weird to not take Brandon Nemo there, but like I gotta do some different stuff with my combos, my combinatorial ownership. Billy and I looked at that on his stream last week, actually, a little bit. Not too in depth because we hopped in a draft pretty quickly, but I did have an opportunity to look at some very common combos that I have, and a lot of it is just like an early guy mixed with a super late guy. But I don't want all of my Acuna teams to have Jake Berger, because I don't want their wagons to be hitched together. I want to diversify a little bit. Yeah. Don't kill my buzz here, Ricky. Okay, because what if Jazz and Eloy stay healthy, right? Like let's live in that universe where unicorns exist and the world is at peace. Let's live there. Just 1 year. Just 1 year. I know this Eloy thing is just going to wind up blowing up in my face. Truly. He's just luring me in. It's a siren song. Hey, I'm having a great spring. I look amazing. Hit a home run today. Everything looks wonderful. And then there's a meteor heading to the earth. Yeah. It's basically like the baseball version of the plot of Armageddon. Except no one's going to save us from the falling meteor that is Eloy Jimenez. I don't know, man. It's just in this format, I'm just trying to believe in the talent in some of these guys and hoping that they stay on the field and don't suck. So, that's a big ask, especially for Eloy. What's Chip doing? Oh, he's doing a little mini Baltimore stack here. I love Adley Rutschman as a player. Like I wish my team had him, but I can't draft him in this format. And when we get to the end of the season and I see he's got MVP votes, I'm gonna be like, I probably should have been drafting Adley Rutschman. He's just a guy I have trouble getting to. All right, we're up in a couple picks. Right now we've got Pete Alonso and Alex Bregman, and then the outfield is Acuna, Arozarena, and Jazz Chisholm. We've got a range of pitchers that I really like coming up. We've got some infielders that I really like. We've got some outfielders that I don't really love all that much. I know I talked about doing a 0 pitcher team, but we'll just kind of see. Christian Walker goes. I might do what I just did on that previous team and just double tap aces here. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go. I have enough Snell, so let's pair Peralta and Cease together. I don't want to overexpose myself to a guy like Snell who, like, obviously he's had 2 incredible seasons where he's won a Cy Young and then just been very, very disappointing. See, Roofing Man's got the thought process, right? In my world, everyone I draft stays healthy. And I feel like you kind of have to draft like that. Because, like, if you draft a dude and you're like, he's going to be hurt and he's never going to play, Why did you draft him? You have to live in a universe where for that particular team that person is on, you just say, hey, he's going to stay healthy. But I'm not going to overexpose myself to like Byron Buxton, right? Who for 7 years has not been able to stay healthy, which is very unfortunate because he's mega talented. Not going to overexpose myself to Eloy Jimenez. I don't know what overexpose means in my head, but I feel like 25% is about as much as I could stomach of him. We'll see. I'm at about 20% already, and I'm adding more. So just pray for me, please. Oh God, it's gonna go so badly. I can already feel it. One thing I was thinking about doing there, but differential did it in the three hole here. I was gonna double tap Christian Walker and Ketel Marte. I talked about it in the last draft. That's one of my favorite stack pairings. They're both Walker's price is like appropriate, but based on where projections have both of those guys, they're still pretty solid values. I think the Arizona offense is going to be really freaking good this year. I think the addition of Suarez, Gabriel Moreno is 1 year older. He was a big prospect for the Blue Jays. So it's kind of like, last year was his rookie season, and dude was batting fifth in the playoffs. So they obviously believe in the guy. But back to Roofing Man's point, in my world, everyone I draft stays healthy. That's how I'm approaching Mike Trout this year. Mike Trout is one of my highest owned players. He might be my highest owned outfielder. That might be Taylor Ward, which is equally as terrifying. It's Mike Trout, man. And I'm getting him in the, 20 to 25, 20 to 26 range. He's a first round talent, but the health, man, it's just been tough to watch. He's off to a good start. He stole a base in spring training, which is amazing. If he runs again, like if he starts stealing bases again, which we have no reason to believe he will, because he's stolen, I think 6 bases since the COVID season, I think. So point being, he doesn't really run. But if he starts running again, that would be so awesome. Like obviously it hurts to lose Shohei, but still, it's Mike Trout, guys. He's only 31. This isn't football, all right, where people's legs fall off at 31. He's still got a couple of really solid years in him if he can just stay healthy, I think. Let's figure out what we want to do at the turn. So 96, 97 is the next turn pairing here. A little purple run after I double tapped for Alton C. Snell made it all the way 76. It's a 8 pick discount for Roofing Man. I like that. I have something in mind, but we'll see if it winds up happening here. Oh, Carlos Rodon. I'm not lighting the bags on fire yet with him, but I'm putting the bags in the fire pit. I'm preparing. I really hope his velocity ticks up again. Throwing 93-mile-an-hour fastballs down the middle is not going to do it. Roofing Man just ruined my plan. I was hoping Yandy Diaz would fall back to me and I could stack him with Rosarena, but whatever. And Gleyber goes. Got a 2-2-3 build right now. Ricky, I'm going to draft Nathaniel Lowe. How's that sound? And his terrible mustache. He's so boring. I'm not taking Mullins. He's hurt again. Let's do something that's not really maybe optimal. I'm gonna go Eflin, Perez back to back. So we've got 4 pitchers before round 10. Chip is probably losing his mind and is probably very disappointed in me. But we're building a portfolio, Chip. You want to have different team structures, maybe, I think, hopefully. I don't know. Am I burning an Acuna share here? I for sure, though, with using this much draft capital at pitcher already, I'm going to have to shut that position down until basically the end of the draft. So, Sheep saying the Angels have stolen the most bases in spring training so far. Yeah, maybe that's a team philosophy thing now. Ron Washington, right, is the manager out there. So maybe he's like, "Hey, let's run." I guess. And Chip has deemed my team dead because I have taken 4 pitchers before round 10. And let's check on Chip's team and see that he has 0. Right? Wait, where's Chip? There he is. Oh, you have 2? You're fraudulent, Chip. You're yelling at me about drafting 4 pitchers. Granted, you did wait until 81 and 88. I like that pairing too. Logan Gilbert and Joe Ryan. That's a really fun pairing. This like 7 to 9, round 7 to 9 with pitching is just so sweet. There's just so much to love there, including Carlos Rodon. Right, guys. Carlos Rodon will be fine. Right. Another bad outing. I'm gonna have to put some vodka in this Gatorade I'm drinking, or tequila, or something that will make the pain go away. Jackson Churio going at 105. I'm actually, Chip, do you have much Churio? I'm kind of surprised by that. Was this the rant you just went on in the Discord where you were like, I love prospects, I'm going to take them all? Churio's price is just too high. I can't draft a 19-year-old in the first 100 picks with no major league experience, and I don't know. Roofing Man is a Yankees fan. He's hoping Rodon is good this year. Look, I'm hoping Rodon is good this year too. Not a Yankees fan, but I just want to see this guy. I just want to see him have a good career, and like he was supposed to be like an anchor piece for the White Sox as they rebuilt, and they did get a really good season and a half out of him. But the guy just his body just won't hold up, and he almost kind of feels like the Steven Strasburg arc, where like Strasburg was just incredible, unbelievably dominant for more time than Rodon, but body just wouldn't hold up and just couldn't have the career that he really could have. I just feel like Rodon's on his way there, unfortunately. Chip's got 27% Churio. Wow. Okay. All right. I'm probably gonna have 0, but I mean the kid is mega talented, so we're trying to find this year's Corbin Carroll, right? The list is pretty short of guys we think you can get there. And here's the other one, Wyatt Langford, 32% on him. I tried to bump my Langford exposure, but I think I'm just going to have to kind of bite the bullet because I don't want to catch him in the 70s or 80s. I'm just gonna hope Derek Carty is right. 27% Carter. I wasn't drafting Carter because I was worried he couldn't hit lefties, and he's showing us that he might be able to hit lefties. So I might be in utter shambles. Let's do. get some infielders. I'm gonna go along with the bats projection on Dansby Swanson. Really likes him this year. Not really a Swanson guy, but I'll go ahead and chase the projection there. And then let's do kind of a Josh Jung believer. The Texas offense is going to be crazy good. And Young is a little hurt right now. But he was well on his way to a potential rookie of the year season last year before he got hurt. So I want to have a little bit of him. And I didn't want to dip down and force an outfielder. I mean, I feel like with Acuna teams, especially this one, I invested enough draft capital at outfield with him, Arozarena, and Chisholm. For an Acuna build to work, Acuna has to be Acuna, which means you're going to get a score out of him pretty much every single week. So I'm just looking to fill out the remaining 2 scores I'm going to get from my outfield week in and week out. And if Jazz stays healthy, like I pretty much have that set. So that's kind of the mindset with going with Swanson and Young there instead of like dipping down to get Taylor Ward or something like that. I think that's just kind of where my brain was going. Chip's telling me to live a little. Yeah, I know. I've been a little cowardly, especially with the. I'm just not a prospects believer, man. It's a price thing, right? Like if Churio was in the like 140s, 150s, I'd probably consider it there. But at his current price, it's too much. It's just way too much. Should have seen the Langford thing coming. I think I kind of missed the boat on him. I'll try to get a few more shares if I can. But I don't know. I'm hesitant with prospects because they fail so often. Fail is subjective, right? It's relative. If you take a 20th round prospect and like they kind of bust, whatever, it's a 20th round pick. But if you're investing 7th or 8th round pick in a guy and he winds up spending half the season or more at AAA because he's bad, that feels pretty rough. But you're playing for the other side of that, obviously. You're playing for the positive outcome, and I get that. I totally get that. Not criticizing it at all. Totally get the merit. I just don't have the guts, quite frankly, Chip, to do it. So, and that's okay. I can live with that. If I get to the end of the year and I get buried by a Churio Langford team, then, just kind of take my L and just move along and learn and live a little next year. All right, let's recap the team so far. We are through 12 rounds? 11? Can I count? 11. We're in the 12th round. 4-4-3 build. So Freddie Peralta, Dylan Cease, Zach Eflin, Yuri Perez. And then the infield is Pete Alonso, Alex Bregman, Dansby Swanson, and Josh Young. And then the outfield is Acuna, Arozarena, and Chisholm. This team feels pretty interesting. I don't really love the Swanson Young thing. I kind of pigeonholed myself into having to do that because I invested so much draft capital at pitcher already. I think it would have been a mistake to take any more pitching there. So just hoping the extra 2 infielders wind up working out. Fingers crossed. Let's pull the board up. Let's see. Chip, you got. Wait a minute. I know what happened here. You got sniped on Imanaga, and then out of anger and spite, you took Senga. Right? Is that what happened? Just believing that Senga is going to be okay. I can appreciate that. I hope that he is. Because I was pretty invested in him before he got hurt. But I do feel like that pick might have been a reaction to an external stimulus that you didn't like. I really don't like this range. I don't like Volpe. I don't like Andres Jimenez all that much. I do not like Verdugo and Ruiz, so I'm gonna believe in our friend Nez, who is a huge believer in Josh Naylor. And I'm gonna go ahead and draft Josh Naylor for Nez. There you go. And continuing with the theme of lighting money on fire with guys who can't stay healthy, I'm going to go ahead and take Chris Bryant. There we go. So Naylor Bryant, back to back. I really backed off Chris Bryant. I had a lot of him. I have a lot of him in the bullpen, and I started out drafting him pretty heavily in the dinger. Backed off of him to try to work in some other guys, but I'm just keep coming back to the talent, right? This dude, 2016 was a long time ago, obviously. But in that magical Cubs run, this guy was incredible. And the talent, he wound up exceeding, I think, expectation, or at least at bare minimum wound up living up to expectation. He's what, 30 or 31, I think. So he's not old. He plays in Coors. I'm just hoping for a bounce back season out of him. At this price, at pick 145, like in this 13 round range, and I took him a little bit early, so you can get him in the 14th a lot of times. He doesn't have to be MVP Chris Bryant in order to pay that price off. He just needs to stay on the field. I firmly believe that there's still 30 home runs in that bat. I really do. And that I have no, statistical reasoning to go off of, but just watching this dude play in Chicago when he was right. I don't know. I find it hard to believe that a guy with that much success and that much talent is just like bad now. Obviously, I could be wrong. Maybe he is, but also, why did the Rockies, what was the point of signing him? What was the point of him signing with them? They're not a contending team. They're basically the National League White Sox, which is not good. So I don't really understand that signing from both angles, but he surely wasn't going to give the Cubs a hometown discount because of how they manipulated his playing time, or service time. Anyway, soapbox over. Hoping for Chris Bryant to bounce back. Let's look at our friend Chip. Yu Darvish and Bailey Ober back to back. And Chip's comment here pretty much. I know. I see. I knew that you were wanting Imanaga there. You didn't get him, and so you went ahead and went back to the well, inflated those Kodai Senga bags with your fingers crossed, just hoping for good news. And maybe Senga bounces back quicker than we think, and he winds up smashing at 129. Dude, you are all over these late round pitchers I really like. I've got quite a bit of you now, not in the bullpen, but a lot now. Bailey Ober, Gavin Williams, like those guys. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of those guys in this range. They're working in a little bit more Tristan McKenzie. He's another guy who he had a really good 2022 and it was hurt all last year. Just kind of rooting for the bounce back. The Guardians are a pitching factory. So been working McKenzie in a little bit more because they don't want to overexpose myself to any one guy. especially a pitcher. All right, we're going to be up here in a minute, so let's get rid of the board. Look at the team 4-5-4. Sheep really loaded up on outfielders. I'm going to look at your team, Sheep, in a minute. He's already got 6. Man, Verdugo is still there. That's kind of crazy. I don't really like Verdugo, but like a 20 pick discount, I could maybe get behind that a little bit. If you're still hanging around and you haven't done so, if you could, I would greatly appreciate it. If you hit that like button, if you have any comments or whatever, like, feel free to leave comments too. I hope you guys having. I'm having a blast. There's a reason I did 2 drafts because I think I'm having a good time. It's fun. Let's do, man. Brian Hayes' price is really jumped up. You know what? Let's just draft a team that Nez would love, and let's go Brian Hayes and Kerry Carpenter. If Nez happens to see this, he's gonna be pumping his fist at this team. I think, be proud of me, right? Especially for the Naylor thing, because I can't stand Josh Naylor, but he's convinced me. I have been convinced that I need to have at least a little bit of Josh Naylor, so it's gonna happen. Brian Wu goes at 170. What is? Am I crazy? What is his? Yeah, I was gonna say his ADP is near 200. So what's going on here? Are people just trying to spite me because I'm Woo J Train and they assume I'm gonna draft him because his name is Woo? Is that it? I don't know. 170 is pretty early for him. Brian Bayo got a nice little extension today. I hope he learns how to strike people out. That'd be great. But the $55 million extension for him, maybe that's a good deal for both sides. Sheep with the Verlander pick. Interesting. Yeah, your outfield's pretty nuts, Sheep. I like it. I'll try to go back. We'll definitely recap a couple teams in this draft, and I'll try to go back and do a quick one of the first draft. If hopefully the system will let me do it. I don't know what was going on earlier. Oh, shoot. Board. Sorry. Okay. It's a very purple run right there. I've never been a Kikuchi believer, but been working him in a little bit. He feels a little too cheap right now. I think there's some room to pay that price off, but I don't really love him. I'll probably be like 5 to 8% or something on him if I had to guess. It's one thing I haven't been doing lately that I probably should do more is like I've just been doing drafts and not really looking at my exposures all that much. Jake in the chat asking, are you looking to stack with your late picks in this draft? I probably should turn my attention to stacking a little bit. Stacking is definitely important. I don't love forcing it necessarily. But I mean, the guys that I have, the teams that I have right now are a little tricky to stack late. Well, I guess that's actually not true at all. Texas is hard to stack. The Mets are hard to stack late. Houston, Atlanta, obviously. But there are some nice Colorado pieces. There's some nice Miami pieces. There's a couple of Tampa Bay pieces that I really like late. So I probably will wind up stacking. My issue is I've already got 6 infielders, and this is definitely I might do a 6-8-6 build just to get a little weird. Because my pitching staff is like, if I'm wrong on these four guys, the team's dead anyway. So with the draft capital that I invested already, I think this might actually play out to be a 6-8-6 team. Let's see what happens. So the turn is coming. Okay. All right. I think I might do something a little crazy here. Let's wait. I'm not drafting Luis Arraez. I don't care that he stacks with Jazz Chisholm. I have no interest in a bunch of singles. Okay. Turning our attention towards stacking, let's do Ryan McMahon, who's a very steady source of points. I don't really love his ceiling, but I love his floor. So let's do him. And then let's go all the way down to our friend Henry Davis because he is not going to make it back to me. And this is really early to take him, but let's stack him with Key Brian Hayes. I don't love Davis that early, but when we're thinking about stacking, there's not really like the outfielders that are left are just like I don't really want any of this. Austin Hayes is a guy I probably need to give a little bit more attention to. But I don't know if I believe that Marte can make it. Kepler's solid. Benintendi's no. Tavares, no. Will Benson's rise has been interesting. Peterson's just a platoon guy. I don't know if Parker Meadows can hit. Matt Wallner might get ball delied and not play every day. I don't know if Brenton Doyle is any good. So Henry Davis has been mashing in spring. He looks so good. So we're going to go ahead and take the reach for him, and we're going to shut off outfield. Yeah. Now it's Def and Nez approved team 100%. 100%. Honestly, I might I might tweet this team out and tag him in it because this is, I mean, this looks exactly like a Nez team. I don't know that he would, necessarily spend this draft capital, but like Naylor, Hayes, Carpenter, Davis, like this has got Nez written all over it. Curious to see what Nobo Sox is doing at the end here. I definitely want to see his team. He's a good drafter. Oh, shoot, dang it! Been really good tonight with the board. So every once in a while I forget. So with this being probably a 6-8-6 build at this point, obviously I've got 3 more picks left. So we're going to do 2 more pitchers and an infielder, most likely. And I might double tap pitching at the turn here. I have multiple guys in mind for my stacks. I'm just going to star them because they're not all going to get sniped, but Brandon Lau, Francisco Alvarez. If we wanted to get really, really weird, we've got the Rocky with the last I checked, which was a while ago. Rocky with the highest projected WRC plus in their lineup. Sean Bouchard. Shout out to EZ. So there's 3 stacking partners. Who else do we have? I think that's about as crazy as I want to get. Let me just look through the list here. I don't believe Caminero is going to be there. I don't know that he's going to play all that much, which sucks. Could do the Sean Murphy thing, but I don't really love catchers. Of course, I have Francisco Alvarez queued up here, but I think Alvarez is going to be in the lineup every single day, no matter what, and that dude can freaking mash. Keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Tim Anderson would stack. He doesn't have much power though. Brendan Rodgers, I keep forgetting about him. He'd be another little Colorado piece. I could just go with the Naylor brothers, go with Bo Naylor, but he's another catcher that I'm worried about. Do I have any twins? I don't think so. No. Could do the Kirilloff thing. I think this. Gabriel Moreno. Wait, I don't have any Diamondbacks. Confusing my teams. Shoot, I'm on the clock. Okay. So let's do. Let's get weird. I'm gonna keep drafting Ever Cabrera, and then let's believe. God, wouldn't it be perfect, Chip, if I took Eric Fed in this draft? I would never be able to go back to the Discord again if I did that. Never. Jack Flaherty. I had a lot of him last year. It didn't work out. His velocity is way up, and I'm gonna go ahead and believe in that. And I think that's another one of Nez's guys. Guys, am I turning into Nez? Like live? Is that what's happening here? Am I morphing? Interesting. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave this queued up because I'd be happy with. I mean, the Bouchard thing I think is a little crazy, but when I looked at WRC plus, I looked at the bat on Fangraphs, just sorted each team by WRC plus, and I saw Bouchard with the highest on the Rockies. And I was like, first off, who is this guy? And why is he projected to be better than Chris Bryant? Brendan Rodgers is a guy I actually got to quite a bit in the bullpen. Not like I don't know if I'm double digits on him, but he was kind of one of the like it guys last year, and then he got hurt. So he should play every day. The Brandon Lau thing, he's another guy that like I can't stop drafting him, and I'm pretty sure it's going to backfire on me because he can't stay on the field either. But God, when he's in the lineup, man, that guy's got some pop. So we'll see who's still available on the way back. But we could do a poll the audience thing. You guys can make my last pick for me. Like if all three of these guys are here. Wherever you say, I'll take. Again, this is all just about stacking. I mean, Jeremy Pena is still here right now. I really like Jamer Candelario. I'm aware that Josh Bell exists, but I don't think he's any good. So that's why he's not on my list. I do like the improvements or potential improvements for Ty France. I don't like that ballpark. And I don't know that offense is going to be amazing. But I kind of like some Ty France a little bit too. Robbie Grossman are you trying to look, Sheep, are you trying to sabotage me here? Or is this a further Nezification of my team? Because I don't know that this team can get much more Nezzy than it has right now. Jake's chiming in with Alvarez. He is, I think, the highest. I think he's my most frequently rostered guy out of this list. It's either him or Lau, easily. I don't really have much of the other two. I'm leaning Alvarez for what it's worth. Stacking with Pete Alonso. They'll be hitting back to back, I think, or at least close. Yeah, that's true. However, I did say you got to vote on the guys that I had queued up. I said that. I think I said that. I meant to say that if I didn't. Is Robbie Grossman still a thing? Like, is he on a team somewhere? I guess I could just search for him, right? No, he's not. What are you trying to do to me, Sheep? Are you trying to sabotage me? I don't appreciate this. I'm trying to win here, and you're not helping. Chip with the Dylan Cruz pick. There you go. That's living a little, Chip. I think Bouchard would be living a little, wouldn't it? I'm not going to do Bouchard, though. Although it would be a 3-man. Because I have, don't I have McMahon? Yeah, McMahon and Bryant. It's all right. I think we're going to go Alvarez. Again, Sheep, I don't feel like this is accurate. He could very well get signed by the Rockies. That would be a perfect Rockies signing. But they don't play all of their games at home this year. So I don't appreciate the sabotage. Okay. Francisco Alvarez is going to be the pick. Let's refresh and let's hope this works because I'd like to recap these teams. We're at 80 entries. That's a nice round number. Beautiful draft. Shut up. I don't want to do that. Oh, this is horrendous. It's not going to let me do it, guys. I think I broke it. I think I broke Underdog. Okay. I will recap my own only since that's not wanting to work. And I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why that's happening. Let's recap the first draft because we did 2 on stream. Thank you guys for tuning in. Sheep, again, thank you so much for being here and for doing both drafts. I wish I could recap your guys' teams, but it's just not in the cards. So first draft was a 7-7-6 build from the 7 spot. The pitching staff was Scooball, Grayson, Tanner Bibby, Chuckles Morton, Mackenzie Gore, Taj Bradley, Edward Cabrera. Infield was Altuve, Machado, Bellinger, Bogarts, Hoskins, Adames, and Chapman. And then the outfield was Tatis, Schwarber, Jones, Tyler O'Neill, MJ Melendez, and Jose Siri. That's a really weird outfield for me. And then the draft I just did was a 6-8-6 build from the 1 spot. I don't know if that's smart. Pitching staff, Peralta, Cease, Eflin, Yuri Perez, Edward Cabrera, and Jack Flaherty. Infield was Alonzo, Bregman, Swanson, Josh Young, Josh Naylor, Ke'Bryan Hayes, Ryan McMahon, Francisco Alvarez. And then the outfield was Ronald Acuna, Randy Arozarena, Jazz Chisholm, Chris Bryant, Kerry Carpenter, and Henry Davis. I'm going to try one more time to view the draft so I can look at your guys' teams because I like doing that. And it's just not working. So we're going to go ahead and bail on that. And sorry that didn't work out how I wanted to. But this was tremendous amount of fun for me. I can't express how fun this was. And I love the interaction with the chat. The whole point of this, having fun, getting silly, drafting teams, hopefully winning $100,000. If it's not me, I hope it's one of you guys from one of these pods. So if you haven't already, most of you are gone already. Like the video if you could, subscribe, and all that regular stuff. You can find me on X at WooWooJTrain. My name is Jason. This is Off the Rails. And again, I appreciate you guys for popping in, and we will see you on the next one, which will probably occur sometime next week. So have a great weekend. 3 weeks till opening day. We're almost there. See you guys.